So being single, right? Of course, there's a lot of things to consider when being single, when working on yourself, how to work on yourself, and, when setting goals. So the first one with being single, let me just clear this. I am not against relationships. A lot of people always assume I am against relationships and that I don't like relationships and that I never want to be in a relationship and that I don't believe in love. First of all, true love is not receiving love or giving love to another person. You're love, I'm love. We're all love. Self-love is true love, baby. If you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. I have been single my whole fucking life. It's just been honestly great. Yeah, when I was younger, it's like I wanted a relationship or I like thought about it, and like kind of didn't make it a goal, but I just like thought about like, oh, when would I be in a relationship or like shit like that, because society makes it seem like we need to be in a relationship. Like, it just puts it in our head, honestly. What do you see in princess movies? A princess finding her prince. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, there you go. And with all that shit, literally in movies, like all that romance shit, you don't see self love. You don't see them teaching you to love yourself because they don't want you to do that. So like nobody really teaches us about self love. You don't hear it from nowhere. Most of our parents don't teach that to us. School does not teach that to us. So it's unless we do our own research or we just hear about it, or something like that. I mean, now it's like more common, I'm over here like all about self-love, inspire more self-love because that's something I learned, and had to like it just really helped me become the best version of myself and things just started falling into place and all that good stuff, So you need to really, you can't be depending on nobody else's love. You honestly can't be depending on nobody else. Once you start loving yourself, dude, it's just amazing. It's just so beautiful. And you then realize, okay, like, I don't need to be in a relationship, or like, not that you don't need to be in a relationship. Well, you really don't. But love doesn't come from being in a relationship. Love doesn't come from another person, and you just start loving yourself and you start seeing your worth. You start building your standards and you know who the fuck you are and what the fuck you deserve. You see things differently. You view things differently. You just feel different, and you realize not just anybody deserves me. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be in a relationship with anybody. Like, you start loving yourself, you're like, okay, well, I need somebody that loves themselves too. Because I wouldn't want to be with somebody who doesn't love themselves because I know that they wouldn't love me. If you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. I do self-care, I give a fuck about my health. Obviously, I want somebody that, has like similar things to me. You know what I'm saying? You really attract people like you. If you're negative, you're going to attract negative. If you're positive, you're going to attract positive. So you just start working on you, dude. You start focusing on you and becoming that person that you would want to attract. You want loyalty, you become a loyal person, not just being loyal to others, but literally being loyal to yourself. Being true with yourself, being honest with yourself. People, oh my God, there was this comment, not yesterday, but the other day where it was just, I be on Big Ol' Live and, I be chatting with my peeps on there. And one of my peeps was like, oh, my ex wasn't loyal to me. She was so, like this, and that. And I was like, well, maybe because you're not loyal to yourself or you weren't loyal to her either, because you attract people like you. And, they were saying, and people say this all the time. And I'm just like, yo, like, I don't get it. And I don't want to get it because I don't want to be like that. But people are like, I didn't find out till the end, like you then really start to see how people are. But it's like, yo, like probably you got into the relationship too fast, or like, how do you just not realize how a person is? I feel the vibes. Obviously, maybe you're blocked and you don't listen to your intuition or anything like that, where you don't feel the vibes from the beginning. But, that's a thing to work on. It's really a time investment. Maybe you just didn't really get to know the person before. That's why you don't rush into things. I don't want to be spending half or more than half of my time with somebody else. You see the value of time and your time specifically because it is a time investment. Are you really ready to invest all that time? Like, that's one of my main things when people always ask me, why am I single? Like, Hunty, because I'm really not ready to give up my time. Have my time. Like, that's one thing that's really important to me. I barely fucking have time to get all my shit done. You think I'm gonna have time to be talking to somebody else and just really invest my time and energy? Like, no. People are like, oh my God, well, you're so beautiful. How are you single? Hunty, I am beautiful because I am single. Just living that single life and just really focusing on you and you working on your glow up. And I'm not meaning about appearances, but your inner glow up, like making sure you're straight and everything internally. That's a glow up. And when you're just focused on that, like, you really glow from within. So, Hunty, that's why I am beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Before you spend time with anybody else, you really want to make sure you're spending time by yourself, getting to know yourself, spending time with your inner child, on your goals. You know, people, when they get in a relationship and if they have goals, they tend to put them on pause or even just fucking forget about them. And that's when then people regret shit later on in life or just don't work on their true purpose. And that's sad. And we see it a lot where people are like, oh, older people tell you, like, don't waste your time, this and that. And that's why I don't want to say like a relationship is a waste of time or anything, which, but it can be. But it's all about investing. I don't like to say spend. Just don't prioritize a relationship in your 20s. You shouldn't be really thinking about that during those years. You want to really focus on you, on your growth, and not thinking you need a relationship then and there. Like, you need to be in a relationship by this age, have kids by this age. Like, no, you don't need to follow other people. You don't need to follow society, like all that BS. Do what you feel like doing. If you feel like being in a relationship, okay, but prioritize yourself, prioritize your goals,